It was such a popular hit that Americans all over the U.S. started a movement to make it our national anthem. Ultimately, it lost to the Star-Spangled Banner. However, God Bless America remains one of the most recognizable patriotic songs today. It is in the moments when the light of hope is overshadowed by doubts, by fear, by crippling sadness. These darkest moments when hearts feel nearer the pit of despair than to God. When honor and patriotism can feel farthest from families who have lost loved ones in service to our country. In this quiet aloneness, when faith is tested, the aching heart yearns for answers, but only questions remain. Questions like, was it worth it? Tonight, we recall the stories of two American heroes who selflessly put themselves in harm's way to prove that their service was worth it. Each story faces the fears of a family's loved one not being able to return home. For most of us, this fear is something that we can relate to. Going home, with its smooth melody and enriching harmonies, can create the feeling of joy, peace, and happiness. Simply imagine how a family would feel when their loved one returns home after the demands of deployment. Or imagine one of these beloved warriors going to their eternal home, where the streets are golden and there is no pain or suffering. Ladies and gentlemen, going home.
Ever since I was 10, I had always wanted to be a Marine, and I dreamt about wearing dress blues. My two older brothers joined the Army and the Air Force when they graduated high school. Before they left for boot camp, we made a pact that we would keep in contact no matter where in the world we were. I shipped out the next summer, right after I graduated high school. After earning the title Marine at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, San Diego, I met my brothers on the parade deck. We were all in uniform. Our parents couldn't hide how proud they were of us. After completing training at the School of Infantry, I was sent to 1st Battalion, 5th Marines at Camp Pendleton and quickly deployed to the Himlan province in Afghanistan. I tried as hard as I could to keep in touch with my brothers as we promised.
It is one of the most popular and most quoted poems from the war. As a result of its immediate popularity, parts of the poem were used in propaganda efforts and appeals to recruit soldiers and raise money selling war bonds. Its references to the red poppies that grew over the graves of fallen soldiers resulted in the remembrance poppy becoming one of the world's most recognized memorial symbols for soldiers who have died in conflict. The poem and poppy are prominent Remembrance Day symbols throughout the Commonwealth of Nations, particularly in Canada, and here in the US, where it is associated with Memorial Day. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Sergeant Wesley Hayes as he leads the band in the performance of In Flanders Field. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for a moment of silence, honoring our fallen heroes, followed by the playing of taps. I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation for all of the support you've shown us, and by extension, the roughly 1.4 million young men and women who have dedicated their lives to serving their country. The reason we are able to celebrate this occasion, and others like it so closely associated with the American way of life, is due, in large part, to our men and women in uniform. Bearing that in mind, we would now like to pay tribute to all Americans who have served or are currently serving in the armed forces, who have selflessly devoted their lives to the security of the American people.